In this video, I will review order of operations, which is an important set of rules that are necessary to make sure that we all perform math in the same sequence. Sometimes it can be a little bit confusing about what to do first, so we need some rules to help us do that in the proper order. So the order that we want to be looking for when we look at what's called a math expression is first do things in parentheses. Parentheses are like grouping symbols that essentially say, do this first. Exponents are next. So we want to look at any numbers that have an exponent, and we want to simplify those. Then we want to look for multiplication or division. Technically, these two are tied in the order, so we're going to perform them from left to right. If multiplication comes first, when going from left to right, we'll do that first. If division comes first, we'll do that. So technically tied, as are addition and subtraction. Also do those in whichever order they appear when going from left to right. Let's take a look at some examples. So here we have 2 times 4 minus 6 divided by 2. We have 3 different operations: multiplication, subtraction, division. So let's try to apply our rules. We don't see any parentheses. We don't see any exponents. So we're looking for multiplication or division when going from left to right. Well, here we have multiplication. So let's do that. 2 times 4 is 8. We can rewrite our problem now. And let's apply our rules again. We don't see any multiplication anymore, but we do see division. So let's do that. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So now we have 8 minus 3. And we don't have any addition. All we have left is subtraction. 8 minus 3 is 5. So that can be confusing when you initially look at it, but if you go through it step by step and apply the rules, you will come up with the proper answer. Let's look at this one. Now that we see we have an exponent in this, let's look at our operations. We have multiplication, we have an exponent, we have subtraction, no parentheses. So let's take care of the exponent first. 3 to the second power, or 3 squared, is 9. So we simplify that first. 2 times 9 minus 2. We eliminated all of our exponents. We're looking for multiplication. Sure, we have multiplication here. 2 times 9 is 18 minus 2. We've eliminated all the multiplication, division. There's no addition, but there is subtraction. 18 minus 2 is 16. Hopefully that makes sense. We're systematically trying to follow these rules. They're going to get more and more complicated as we go through this. Now we've introduced some parentheses. Now, the interesting thing about parentheses is we still have to apply the rules inside the parentheses, but usually they're not that complicated. We can see we have multiplication going inside our parentheses. So 2 times 3 is 6, and we can drop the parenthesis then. We don't need it anymore. And then we're going to add whatever is in this parenthesis, and we can simplify that at the same time. We don't have to do these exactly one at a time. So what is 4 times 5? Well, that's just 20. And we are still now adding 3 to the second power. We've eliminated all of our parentheses, but now we have an exponent. So let's do that. 3 to the second power, we did that in the last problem, is 9. So we have 6 plus 20 plus 9. We've eliminated exponents. We don't have any multiplication. We don't have any division. We just have addition left. So 6 plus 20 plus 9 is 35. And we are done. Okay, let's attack this one in a similar fashion here. We have parentheses, so let's do what's inside these parentheses. And this is what I'm talking about. We have exponents now inside of our parentheses, so we better do that first. And I'm going to leave the parenthesis until we've simplified everything inside of it. So I am going to rewrite this now like that. We have simplified the 2 squared. Oh, I wrote 9. That's not correct. That is 4. So that's what we have after our first simplification. Now let's simplify both parentheses at the second time. You might be looking at this exponent, but we can't do that exponent until we've simplified inside that parenthesis. 4 plus 3 is 7. And then that's going to be multiplied by 3 plus 1, which is 4, to the second power. We could leave that parenthesis on there. Kind of doesn't make any difference, but if you prefer to see it that way, that's fine. So now we've kind of eliminated our parentheses. We're looking at this exponent, so we should take 4 to the second power. That leaves us with 7 times 4 to the second power is 16. And we have 7 times 16. Now this might be a place where you get out your calculator and you multiply 7 and 16. That's the only operation that's left, so we don't have to worry too much about our order of operations. We just do what's left. And we get 112. All right, here we have an example where we have multiple parentheses. When you have multiple parentheses, what you will see is kind of a regular parenthesis on the inside, and then these square brackets on the outside. So we're going to do the ones on the inside first. So we have 3 times 2, that's 6, plus 1. And all of that is going to be squared, plus 10. And once again, we want to keep working on this parenthesis until we get it fully simplified. It's 7. That's going to be squared, plus 10. Once again, when we just have a number and it's to an exponent, we don't really need the parenthesis anymore. So we could think of it as that. And 7 to the second power. If you remember that, that's great. Otherwise, use your calculator. And you should get 49 plus 10 is equal to 59. We only have one operation left there, so we don't have to worry too much about the order of operations. All right, that's it for practice on this. Now it's time for some practice on your own.